Hello everybody, welcome to the show. Bass Bonsai back in the house. As you can tell, we got an unboxing to do. Got some peanut butter guns, the jelly gun, we still got it put up. Do you guys want to see the jelly gun? Maybe later. But who wants to see a trigger pull? Anyway, if you haven't followed the channel, buckle up, hang on. Bass Bonsai, mainly fishing. We're getting into some shooting. We've done bonsai for a while, but we haven't done a video in a long while. So anyway, let me get this unboxed and we'll see what it even is. I'm not even 100% sure. It's not from AliExpress. I think it's either, well, actually I take that back. It's either from AliExpress, but not from China, if you guys know what I mean. Every once in a while you'll get something from AliExpress that comes from a U.S. address. And I don't know if there's like a warehouse somewhere that to get it to you quicker. I don't know what's going on with that. But this also could be primary arms order that got lost, sent back to all over. Oh, you guys see that? Creation and back. So you guys will find out, same as I do, exactly what is in here. It is a big box for no more than what's in here. I know that much. So there it is. So yeah, this took forever from Primary Arms. And if you guys remember right, I think I may have had an issue with the Primary Arms before on stuff taking a while. It's like they ship it fairly quick, but then it gets lost in translation and doesn't come straight to me. It's kind of weird. But anyway, there's what we got. That's why I've got these lights out here that you can see. So this is a Surefire kit. There's a model number right there. If you wanted to, if you have a Surefire or you have a knockoff, and we're going to see how well these fit real quick. We're going to go ahead and knock that out in this video. But for now, I'm going to throw this out of the way. So here's the deal. I ordered this. I knew I ordered it, but for some reason, they didn't send me any shipping info. You know how the order ID and none of that. And so I think I got another one coming because a few days later I looked on my emails and I'm like, well, I know I ordered it, didn't I? Well, so then I jumped on there and I just ordered it again. I didn't even have a PayPal confirmation deal. Well, evidently now this one showed up and I think I still have the one I ordered coming. So we should have two of these. And it looks like they give you Loctite to Loctite these screws all back in. So we've got screws, everything to, if you guys aren't familiar with these knockoffs, and we have an actual, that is a real Surefire. I'm going to compare the colors. I guess that is the same color. What's funny is this color on this light, the plastic colors don't really look quite like these colors by themselves, but I think they are the same exact color. So I painted, all these were black and I painted them. So I think what I might do is pop this one off, stick the plastic parts on. I haven't decided yet which one I want to do, because this one I don't want to do. If you guys remember right, if you follow the channel, these are knockoffs. They're only like 20 bucks, and out of the 8 or 9 or how many I have so far, I've only had one. And it's not really a bad one, but these screws were stripped. So I got it to where they're secure now, but when I painted it, I left it painted rough on purpose so I could tell exactly which one was the one that has the iffy screws in case it gives me any sort of issue. So although this video is not about the whole, you know, knockoff versus whatever and comparing them, this light is way brighter. The original, if you have a Surefire X300, the Ultra, or the Turbo, by far going to outdo this. This is probably, and I think I saw somewhere, I looked at, don't quote me 100%, but somewhere between 300 and 500 lumens. It's very bright. Like for working, for me, it works fine as a light, a pretty decent light. But as far as like that blinding light like everybody wants nowadays, this isn't going to be the light for you. Works pretty good though. And for what we use it for, you slap a few batteries in it and get the weight on it. So far, none of them have actually failed. You put batteries in them, they work. And on a side note, before I go any further, I know everybody's like, this guy never gets to the point that doesn't know me or the channel. I eventually get to the point, but you're not going to figure out life answer to life in one of my videos. You have to kind of follow along too, because I jump around so much. But a while back, this light, I wouldn't recommend it if you're wanting a range light to help with the recoil or something. It's so little and light, it doesn't do that. But if for a little Glock 19 size, it fits perfect, and it was only like $20 or under too. It's the Surefire knockoff XC1. So it's got one little battery, and yet all these firearms are clear, by the way. This is one I'll be moving around. But if you guys remember right, I had and I still don't know why, but the original battery I put in this went dead pretty quick. This battery and light, it's been working fine since I switched out that battery. Like, it doesn't have a dead short or anything. So I don't know what was up with that other. Maybe I just got a bad battery, I guess, that went dead real quick. But this one seems to be working fine. It's just there's no weight compared to one of these, you know, just a regular, whether it be the original or a knockoff with the two big batteries that it takes. This takes one, a AAA. There's no comparison on the weight and actual what you might feel in helping you with recoil at the range, just to give you a little better overall feel. Because as much as people tell you they use them for target identification, most nowadays everybody's got these on their guns for looks, cool factor, and they do actually help for most of these polymer guns anyway, for sure. Add that little bit of weight up front to help kind of tame recoil overall, getting the right sight right back on target again. So anyway, I know I shouldn't have even went into all that, but I did. Let's put my knife up before I stab myself. Let's get my knife back out. Let's just cut this thing open and see what all's in there. This is basically everything you would get if you ordered, actually if you get one of these knockoffs, they come with most of this stuff also, just they're black, already assembled. But you can get this kit, which I'd wondered that, and then I tracked them down. I'm like, what happens if one of your plastic pieces messes up on your $250, $350 flat, you know, pistol light? So you can get this kit, or if you lost something and you wanted to switch back to, because there's two ways to mount these lights. I've talked about it in several videos. There's two ways, and there's tricks you can do to tighten up the one way for sure. I haven't really tried the other way. That is a big package for a little bitty old tube of Loctite, which I got a big tube. I just keep these tossed around in a range bag here and there in case I need a kind of emergency. But a little bit of Loctite. I'll set it over here for now, but I have my Uncle Mike's, and I didn't buy this. It came with, I think, one of the used guns I bought. It seems to work pretty good. So that's what I used. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to leave this old jacked up dude alone. It does work, but like I said, the screws were kind of stripped. Let's compare now that it's out of the wrapper. Yeah, I would say the exact replacement part, same color. If I put them on this, definitely would change. I don't know if it's coming through the camera or not. Definitely different colors. This is a lot lighter. The paint that I got and painted this is a lighter FDE color. So I'm going to put it on one of those. Put it on the one for the Glock. You know what? Let's compare it to our. So then on our, this is the sight mark. Sight mark is definitely a darker than all these on the FDE colors. There's a Furry Precision. Slide is probably the closest FDE I have to that, maybe. It's definitely a different color than the Glock. And then this one on this Surefire is a lot darker. So yeah, what do you guys think? which one should I do? Speak up or forever hold your peace. Let's go with this guy. And then we'll have spare parts here. So, and he is unloaded too. But easiest way is to pull down on these tabs and push from behind. Once you get them tightened up like I have, the easiest way I found to just slide them off. You try to pull down and pull as you're going. It can just kind of push as you're pulling down. So let's see how tight these are. And I think they're different size screws. So yeah, let's just take this side off while we're looking at stuff. So yeah, screws are probably different size, which that's fine. We won't use those. But I do need to find my right Allen wrench for the process. Hang on. Hang on, let me take this over here to where all my Allen wrenches are sitting. Make this process a little bit easier. You guys hate it when you have so many Allen wrenches that's a little wobbly. You know what? That's a little wobbly too, but it fits. So the back part's real easy. You just open it up, take your batteries out. Now this won't be able to be changed, right? So basically, I've got the door also coming from AliExpress. So this is going to be this piece and the two side pieces. These pieces are for a separate that go with if you use this one. And I've talked about it before in a video. If you have a Glock, use the one that they call universal. The U, it's got the narrow slot. This wider one will not fit in a Glock or a Glock clone slot. But your standard, like a lot of your 1911 or 2011s or other polymers that have a true Picatinny rail going down it, a lot of times that's the better one to put in there. It'll fill up the hole and won't slop around as much, but you can tighten that up also. So we'll go with this one. Now, if you want to go the other way, you actually install this with this little slider deal. And you will put that in there like so. I just don't like these as much. I feel they're actually, and then you put this in here. I feel this way because that can tighten it up. And then you end up with these. Same thing. There's a wide one and a narrow. Universal is wider, or universal is narrow for like the Glocks, and then the Picatinny rails. But then these basically end up sliding in this area, and you push them in and out, and there's a little like lockup thing but I just, for the times I've tried it, I feel this way. When I tighten up these sides, I get a better and easier on and off, but a tighter feel with these as long as you tighten them up. So let's just loosen. I didn't even need to take the battery out. These up, see if this interchanges in case you guys want to do this swap. And I do not have I've got a couple black ones, but I don't have like any of these parts that are unpainted unless they're on the black one. So you see these screws are different. The real one comes with a lot bigger screws, just to show you that. Shouldn't matter, but we will see once we get it off here. If this will even work or not. It's a possibility. I've just got spare parts for my one true Surefire light. Kind of doing this sideways through the camera. Now, YouTube should not have any issue with me showing you this for the simple fact this is not a firearm. This is a light. So this whole process, everything I'm showing you should not need censored in any way. But you never know about them boys at YouTube. They're a little funny. You know what I'm saying? They're a little funny. So the little springy thing that comes with this one is definitely different. If you can see the, whoa. Knockoff Surefire comes with that coil type deal. So I should be able to just pull this off. Compare it to the one I'm going to go back with. Should be the same dimensions, everything. And this one works just fine. I just was going to see if, you know, for the future, if I order one of these and I just want to buy a kit and put on it and not have to mess with painting, if that's the way I want to go. So we're just going to stick this back on. Same way I took the one off. Oh, that seems a little... That pin they use must be a little bit smaller. So that'll work because once that's in there, it's like it can't come back out. But it definitely isn't a... It should be fine, but it is a little bit of a... Tolerances are a little different. But you basically put that in there. We'll use the one that they put the kit. I like put this just upside down. Push it in and down, and then we'll see if these rails fit and can be tightened up. The one with the cutout, I might get it mixed up. The one without the cutout goes on what is the right, and it says R, like if you're looking at the light, like if it was on the pistol, right? So that'll go in there. Should the holes look like they line up? Now remember, we need all the little screws, not the big ones, because they won't fit. I guess I should try them. Just to see if one... It should be a different thread. I think everything's different. But you know what? I could put these screws now in my stripped out one and would fix it, because I'd probably go in. But I kind of fixed it. I kind of rethreaded. I don't know. It's hard to explain. They're in, but... That would be an option. I'll save those for maybe a later time. Either one of these. If one were to strip out. And you could do that. You don't necessarily have to have Surefire screws. You could go, hobby store is a good place. You can get different size, different thread pitched screws and fix the stripped out one. You could fix it without spending a lot of money. It's pretty easy to do if you have a stripped out screw. It's not that big a deal. So let's just put the ones we know that fit, though, back in. So we're going to hold that like that. Oh, boy. We're going to try it. I'm working over the top of this camera. This is beginning to be a little bit of a exercise in, I don't know what you'd call it. So you just want to get all the screws on one side started and in. Don't tighten them up yet. So those go in. So now make sure you didn't tighten them. You want to be able to, this should wiggle around. So then you're going to want to hold it in for the Glocks anyway, the PSA daggers. You want to hold pressure in and then tighten them up. And if I have to loosen it, I will, but I want to see if I want it to fit on the gun tight. Now, you don't have to go crazy. You could actually, you don't even need to turn the wrench around. You could just kind of snug it with that. That side's good. Flip it around. You don't need to hold that now. Just make sure that your slots are on the inside and this looking thing like that's on the outside. You know what? Maybe you should do it like this. You're going to say, why am I missing a screw? Okay, so I hope you guys can tell on the camera. It's definitely a different color. This stock back piece that I painted is, did I show you? I guess you guys would know. If not, the color that's not far off is this Rust-Oleum camo paint. Camo khaki is, I think, the closest it'll come. It definitely looks darker than once you paint it, because that's painted on black and not heavily coated, and it still comes out kind of lighter than what the cap indicates it would come. Because they also have one that comes out real light, is this color, which it almost looks like a darker hue, but this is a camo sand. And do I have anything painted in that? No, I think everything I did paint in this is on my AR style rifle, Tippmann, which is a 22. But anyway, so same thing on this side. Push in while you're holding in. I hope I don't have to do any shaving or something. I'll explain what I do if this still doesn't get one tight. I'll explain kind of what your options are. Okay, so that's definitely, you can see the color difference, like looking at it like that. Let's just see how well it fits on the firearm. Oh boy. Okay, so it goes way too tight. Like I can't even get it to go. So I'll just loosen up. I'll tell you what, I'm going to loosen them all. So I'm just going to try it. Just say if they're all loose, I'm not pushing in. I think I loosened them all. With the true Surefire stuff. Now with my Surefire light, I think I had to squeeze them as tight as I could get them on the actual real one. Let's just try this. So I'm not pushing in on anything. I'm just tightening the screws up right where it's at. Let's try that. Okay, see that? That's what you want. Like, I can't really move it. There, I put some force and I moved it forward. Because you want it kind of all the way forward. Because when you're going to be working on these lights, what you're going to be doing, if anything, is pushing it forward. So if you have it back and you go to move it, you might feel that move and think that something's loose. But get it on there, work it forward, and it's on there. If for whatever reason yours is wobbly, do like what I said the first time, hold it in tight. Or if you have any of these Surefires, whether knockoff or not, that's a trick you can do, is hold it in tight. But then if that still doesn't work, your next option is to, and I had to do it on one of these, you have to kind of, so where these fit, and I can't remember what light I did it on. When you're looking at these, sometimes I have a bowed out look. So what you can do is on the insides, the side where the rail part is, take that on a flat something with sandpaper and hold it at an angle and sand it down to where when you tighten the screws, it's going to tighten it up. It's not 100% because the screws are still wanting to pull straight down, but it will give it a little bit of a, I hate to use the word kink, but that's kind of what it'll do. It'll give a little bit of a kink in that may be just enough to tighten it up on your rails. And you can go, even a little further if you wanted to, but usually just a little bit on the ones I've done, sanding it down at that angle. Hold it in while you tighten them up, and then when you tighten them up, then it tightens up the whole system. So anyway, there it was, less than a half hour. Should not get any flack from YouTube, I wouldn't think. The simplest way is to buy a can of that paint like I talked about. I think it's like $5-6. Actually, the simplest thing to do is buy one of these knockoffs for 20 bucks. Buy a can of that paint for 5 or 6. Tape off your front. If you want to, put just a touch, just like touch your finger on grease or something, and just touch it there. Touch it just in a few spots where you don't want the paint to stick. Then paint the whole thing. Just paint the whole light, and like I did on this one. And you can see, like here, oh, you just scrape that off just a little bit. You can actually paint that. It's not a big deal. But then you could just take your, you know, whether it be a knockoff, or, I mean, you technically could do if you have a black one and paint over it too. But I did my black one, I took it and I painted it the OD green style, and it looks pretty nice. If you're going to do it with this one, you'd be better off to start off with one that already has some sort of brown hue, because then as it starts to come off, which it will, it'll give it that worn look. Black, I guess black underneath wouldn't be bad, especially if you got a Glock, like a 19X that has a lot of black stuff on it, black barrel, black stuff, then that wouldn't be too bad. But if you want to get a kind of the look like this and take your plastic pieces off separately, you know, clean them better than you would with this worn look, to where it's going to stick the best it can, paint them, and then put them back on. But it's still going to flake off. Just paint. It's not even Cerakote. It's not even Lumihide 2 or whatever from Brownell, so it's going to wear. This is the way. It's more expensive, but you can order this. And then on AliExpress, they sell, which is basically this piece with the little attachment that comes up. It's designed to run back to where you can activate the light with your finger. Instead of pushing out, you can just, as you squeeze with this finger, as you squeeze back in here somewhere. And when I get mine in, I'm going to try to adapt it, because I heard somebody talking about they had one back in the day that had the activation switch came right here. So as you came up here, you could more or less, if you put pressure like this, you could activate it. And if you relieve the pressure, it would let it off to where, when they're here, once you're grabbing to get a grip for firing, you kind of activate it. Same thing with like the old lasers. I say old, but they still make them. But Hogue and Packmeyer or somebody make the 1911 grips that have the little sensor here, or activation button, and the laser runs right out here. And they say the bad thing about those is the minute you're trying to activate something with your, you know, hand that you're using to hold on to your firearm with, that's not necessarily a good thing. I ordered it just for the fact that it's going to come in, and hopefully it's close to this color, and that color won't rub off. That's molded in that color, so therefore it'll just color goes pretty good with the Dagger. The Dagger is just a little bit, I call it just a touch lighter than whatever the Surefire color is. It's not far off. Like these Surefires look pretty close to a Dagger color. I mean, but once you get all the colors, none of the FDE colors like are going to match up too great. And then the Glock on the magazine. Yeah. So anyway, any questions, drop them in the comments below. I'm going to try to end this video under half hour. None of these have batteries in them. I had to rob batteries for other stuff. I need to order some more of those Surefire or I don't know, I think Energizers. Oh, you guys comment. I don't even know how good the Surefires are. They've been, you know, working fine, but are Surefire batteries considered better than Energizer or Panasonic or any other ones that I would be able to get? You guys comment. I don't even know what they're considered. The Surefire's considered, you know, non-rechargeable batteries. Are they better than Energizers and, you know, all the other high-end ones or whatever? Let me know. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. More videos coming up. I got to hurry up and get to the range. I've been sick, but I've been meaning to go up, and not this guy. This guy right here that I need to put the light back on. I've been meaning to get up to the range and get this guy some trigger time. Yeah, see this one I tightened it up all the way, and it's just it's a little wobblier than I would like it to be. It doesn't wobble around, but anyway, I need to get up there and get some rounds through this to see if I can get it to cycle better than what it does. This is my worst reliable firearm that I own. Glock 26 slide, that's why. My favorite's probably still this guy. I think I've talked about it before. I'm over 30 minutes, I know it. Oh yeah, this thing, I painted it and it's already flaking off, just putting it in and out of my range bag, basically. But it looks, I think, better than just solid black. Once it even actually wears off more, there's more black showing, I think it'll all go together. Almost everything you have has some black on it here or there. My next go and adventure may be to actually get some Aluma hide. I need to figure out which one is the darker of the browns, and then maybe paint a few of my black red dots on some of these peanut butter firearms. Stay tuned when we come up with the video also talking about what slides, and I mean it's pretty simple, but I'm going to just kind of put a video out talking about the slides I recommend and why for modularity purposes. If you guys can't guess, it's this one and one's like it. But anyway, I'll talk more about that in other videos. Thanks for watching, guys. Get out, go buy some bonsai. I'll catch you. See you later.